Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Brad versus Art. My name is Brad Weaver, or as I commonly use on the internet, Bradnar. I'm currently part of a gaming review and let's play channel, Three-Headed Gaming. You may or may not have heard of it. Anyway, on that, I'm the art head, and I have art-based opinions and crazy opinions on the games. I'm joined with my fellow Iron Oak and McJig, the guy head and the mech head, respectively. I have decided to start up my own art channel here, where I'm going to go onto DeviantArt and randomly pick a picture. Probably, I'll just say the third pick on the browse, and unless it's something like a photo of someone's eyeball, I'm going to load it up here on Manga Studio and correct it. Put in my 2 cents, and hopefully it'll be hilarious, because there is a lot of shitty fucking art, as you all can agree, on DeviantArt. But then there's also a lot of art that's not too bad, and with a couple right pointers, then the artist can definitely improve. And hopefully it's entertaining. So, normally I'm going to start every episode with a little intro, a little briefer than this, and maybe about 10-15 minutes of a review on one or two pieces of art, depending on what needs what. But since it's the first episode, I'm going to go over a bit of my credentials quickly, and if anyone needs to know, they can know more, they can contact me or ask questions in the comments section on my YouTube page, which I am going to make when I'm done this video. Anyway, this is my icon here for Three-Headed Gaming. And yes, I do sort of know how to draw. I drew this picture here. Meant to make it look cartoony. But anyway, my name is Brad Weaver, and I graduated from Algonquin College, the animation program, back in 2012. Hopefully that'll sound impressive if this channel goes for a few years, but yes. I'm only a recent graduate of the animation program, so my area of expertise is actually animation. In that course, we learned layouts or backgrounds and character design and life drawing, and I was all right at those things, but I was really good at animation. But if there's actually animation up on DeviantArt, I'll definitely critique that and have much better, more professional things to say. But I have some knowledge. I'm not an expert. There are hundreds of other artists out there that are better than me, that are more qualified to go over your work. But I'm not too bad. I can safely say I'm better than 6.5 billion people in the world. So chances are, mathematically, I'm a better artist than you. And I'm going to help you out. But again, animation is my training, so I'm going to concentrate a lot on some of the animation principles to help make your art look cooler. So if I end up picking a picture that is just absolutely gorgeous, painted portrait of someone, there's not much I can say as far as making a cool line of action where the character does this. With really, yeah, don't do that. It's the worst drawing ever. Anyway, so I'm going to pause the video. I am going to grab a random picture, and I am going to critique it. See how it goes. One moment, please. Alright, and we're back. And here is the third picture when I pressed refresh on the DeviantArt browse. And this is actually perfect first example for me here. Because, to be honest, when I got to school, this was more or less the level that everyone was operating on. Where they all liked anime, and they would try super hard to make cool looking anime stuff, girls would probably do stuff like this, and boys, I'm not excluded from this, would do like Dragon Ball Z. And then, everyone had their little things. And to be honest, this isn't too bad. And, you show this to anyone, they'll be like, okay, yeah, that's anime. But if you want your drawings to improve, sometimes you have to let go of anime, not permanently, for a bit. Learn Western, learn construction, learn some cool things, and then bring that back to your anime, and then you get some cooler, more constructed, fuller. I don't know. You get anime that doesn't look anime, but it is anime. I can't think of any good examples, but basically high budget anime. A lot of the stuff like that Bone Studio does, like Full Metal Alchemist, and I know Avatar technically isn't anime because it wasn't made in Japan, but it kind of looks like anime style, but it has Western influences into it. Either way, so what I'm going to do with this is point out a couple things that would make this a cooler pose. Right now, the biggest thing I see is that's your line of action. I know she isn't uppercutting a demon or anything, but that's pretty boring. She's just supposed to be cute going, I'm sitting on a throne. That's a heart throne, I guess. But, assumingly the throne is sticking out like this. Maybe not quite that much, but it's got some push to it, right? So, having her straight up and down is kind of wrong. So, fixing the wrongness of her pose also goes at the same time, making her pose a little stronger. So, she probably wouldn't be laid back, but it's a nice preppy sit up straight kind of. So I would have her kind of like this. So what I'm doing right here is just me getting. Normally you go from the spine to the toe, just a big long line, but she's sitting down. So I'm having all of her weight kind of go to this one butt cheek here. Then she's going to have her legs together. And then I'm going to do the hips. Once you do the line of action, you always have to have the hips and shoulders. And it's good to have them going the opposite way. Just adds a little bit more. So right now I just have big giant blue blobs. So I'm going to pick another color. And I like to go blue and then go to green. It's just what I do. And now I'm going to start adding a bit of details. But I'll keep... I'm going to zoom in a little here. You know what? Green might... if only that chair wasn't red. Red is my next go-to color, but just darken the green a little more. Anyway, okay, so yeah, we got her back going like this. So you probably have her chest right here. Her waist, her hips right there. Now I'm sure you've seen this all in a How to Draw Spider-Man book, but this is construction. It was my weakest subject, and now I'm telling you how to do it. But it's good, even if you can't construct quite well, like me. It's good for getting down curves and kind of feeling and exploring the character right now. Like right now, this leg is just a blob. Better to do it just like that, as a blob, as construction, which takes you 3 seconds, than if you spent a long time doing super crazy awesome details. So I'm trying to keep her knees together so she can keep the regular the intended the previous intention. She is keeping the man. I'll promise I'll get better at this. The words. The intent of the pose is still the same as what the artist had originally intended. Yes. So then we have some shoulders bending. Arm. This. Okay, so right now I'm losing everything in the lines. Don't worry, I can still see it. I will fix it up in a second. That's too much. I'm putting some tilt on her head to add to the tilt I'm giving her body. Alright, so this is basically a just more line of action here. Just gonna make it a little more transparent. Make a new layer. You can't see all of my button pressing because don't feel like showing you. I don't know. You see more of the art. Alright, so now I can show you what I'm talking about here. I'm going to make this a little more invisible. Can barely see it. So basically what I'm going for is that you really can't see that, can you? What if I like made it purple, like pink? You can't see that either. Damn. Why did it have to be red? Yellow? Shit. Orange. Neon green. Alright, okay. Neon green wins. So yes, what I'm talking about here is the biggest difference. Rather than being straight up and down, she is going to be leaning forward a little bit. Now I'm going to do a little nicer construction if I wasn't so shitty at this. Now, see what I'm talking about here is this doesn't necessarily destroy your anime, but it gives you things to think about when you're doing it. And we just do this. Well, I'm not going to worry about her legs. The biggest problem was this sitting down on the chair. My hotkeys have messed up. There we go. Making me want to do an airbrush here. Alright, so this is my pose here. Shoulders are higher on one side, the hips are higher on another side. Now you can have her arm on her lap and this arm just hanging out saying hi. But now, hopefully, if I make this black and ugly looking, you can kind of see where I'm going with this here. Because now she's kind of sitting sideways. her chest, her torso is leaning forward. And I can kind of just keep going here. So rather than her head being straight up and down, actually, you know what, black is working. It's a dangerous color to use because it can get muddy really fast. But yes, I had her chest leaning forward, and haven't drawn circles in so long. Yeah, that head's just too huge. There we go. And have her head tilt. That's head is still too huge again. Magic of computers. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about here. So now we got a head tilt, so she's kind of doing like, "Hey you," you know, "What up?" You know, she wouldn't have that face. And yeah, she's got her hand on her lap. Hand up here, saying hi. And then because we kind of angled her butt to the side, we have to fix the perspective of her chair. So now the chair is not so much front on, but more of a front 3/4, fancy term, somewhere between front and 3/4 front. And then we can have our little heart-shaped seat. Tilted a little as well. Hotkeys. And just turn that off. That's what I'm talking about here. No, that is the wrong perspective. Yeah, chair is still a little much here. See if I can salvage this super fast. And this is all stuff that you should tweak with before you go ahead. And you can even do this on a sketchbook. Right? If you get a blue pencil crayon, that stuff, especially a light blue pencil crayon, a non-photo blue, if you want to be technical, that stuff doesn't scan very well. It's almost invisible when you scan it. So it's basically this. Draw this in blue. And then you can go on top, draw your better lines, and color it from there. And you have a much more interesting pose than your straight up and down sitting in a chair. Also, a lot of animating. If I'm going to say one last thing about this, anime also likes to put the breasts way too high. They're actually much, much lower on the chest. And I think you have a corset on her. You might want to tighten it up so it actually looks like a corset or a vest or something. Now here I'm doing corrections on the details. I didn't even intend to do that. And the anatomy. Yes. Boobs lower. Don't worry about saggy. As long as you draw them like this, they don't appear saggy. Saggy is when they do that. That's saggy boobs. That's attractive, nice boobs. And that is, you have the most painful bra on in history. Yeah. This is all more or less right here. Just again, it would be nicer for hip. Her hip was a little more out this way. Even there, just with the hip there, I didn't even modify the chest. The chest's still up and down, but because I popped the hip out, it's a little more interesting to look at. So anyway, yeah, that's this drawing. And I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but this is a painting by Bradnar Akak. Yes. Anyway, that's the person, and the picture is called Anna. So I'm assuming this is Anna, the collarbone. All right. One down. Let's try another one. Hopefully I get to unleash my angry side. All right. Ah! Damn it! Fuck! Ads! Stupid talking ads on DeviantArt? Where the hell is it? Ah! That didn't stop it. Ah! Where's the ad? Damn it! Do you know what? I'm just turning off my volume. Volume switch. Where the hell are you? Alright. Well, that was that was unintended. I'm trying to give you art. And people at DeviantArt are trying to look at art. And if they happen to leave the volume up, you get a fucking ad about Lysol wipes or whatever the hell I was listening to. Some sort of insurance shit. People are trying to draw pictures of angels or furries or photos of their eyeball. Stupid talking ads. God. Can't tell you how many times late at night the lights are down. I'm trying to have some personal me time. Fucking ads. Wake up everyone in the house and they know what I'm up to. God damn it. That was more personal information than I meant to reveal, but ads with sound equal bad. You know what? Is it still going? I'm going to turn up my volume here. No, it shut up finally. Too late though. It threw me off. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by ads, this is Fallen Angels by What I Imagine. See, I can pronounce that username. Good for you, What I Imagine. Anyway, I didn't want to spend much time on this one because I really like that one. I really like this one because, like I said, my training is animation, and I like seeing line of action. And, well, these wings, beautiful. That is a lovely line of action. It'd still be cool even if I was literally following the bones here. But yeah, that's a nice line of action. I like how they're sagging. It just adds to the defeated nature of this model here. I love it. Just like this little whoosh right here. Those are nice touches. And then even this. Whoosh. 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 Just everything is nice Nice and flowing. You did a good job, what I imagine. I just imagine you having a scanner and not a, like, 5 megapixel point and shoot camera. But the biggest things I'm going to have to point out here, because you got so much good going for you right here, is you got all this weight on this shoulder here. Like, this one is popped up. You see her hand. I got a huge monitor. You got a small YouTube screen. Don't know how much you can tell. But yes, you got her shoulder popped up here. All her weight is supposed to be on this arm right here, because she is just, I am sad. I'm even saying it's a woman. It could be a dude. Flowing majestic hair. But you got all this weight. Holding her hand, holding her arm right here. But, point I'm making, this shoulder is also up. It's actually, in fact, higher. See? It's higher than the one that's holding the weight. Only if your perspective is distorted, or it's set up that way, should a shoulder that you have all the weight on, really, especially in a pose like this, should it be lower. So I would suggest, again, because this almost looks straight across, if you just had her back like this, and her head's just behind her body like you have, you know, there's her hand. But now, just almost falling over, like, 5 seconds later, she'd be just like, I just fell over. I fell over. You just got a nice twist right there. And then, presumably the hips are doing this. And probably her leg would be out here doing something like this. Legs are short. Wait for the magic of computers. No, they're still short. But anyway, they are no longer there. But the point I'm trying to make is this twist here, and then have your wings coming for that. Now that shoulder's higher, this one's down, holding on to her arm. And there now, in my opinion, looks a lot more sad, a lot more defeated, and a little more 3D because of the twist. And also, your line of action now goes through from the top of the head to the wing. Just because we added that back twist and this here. Alright, one more real quick. I'll filter out the best ofs maybe. I don't know. Alright, last but not least, it wouldn't be DeviantArt if somewhere on the main page there wasn't an anthropomorphic fox. Or wolf. Or cat. Yeah, I'd say it's a fox. Wolf. Anyway, this is Juniper Bust Shots. I guess this is Juniper. By Kanito Daijito. Or Kanito Daijito. Either way, this one also has some mistakes that I, in my limited experience, can help you with. You do have a bit of this going on, so that That's good. This one, not so much. You can push that a little more. But the biggest problems here are anatomy and perspective. Alright? So you've kind of established this perspective like here. I'm already exaggerating it. But what the fuck? Come on, you should catch these things. Look at the breasts. They're lopsided. I hate seeing that. Lopsided breasts. Make this one a little shorter. Make this one a lot bigger. Now, if only I could draw breast. Come on. Either way. See, now, my hand was in the way. Should actually be smaller still. That's why a lot of people draw women. They're curvaceous and attractive. So when you make one of those attractive curves look lopsided and one is horribly larger than the other, it becomes very unattractive. Simple as that. There. I know I could have done a little bit better on these, but I'm going quick. So yes, now we have the breasts in perspective. Shoulders are in perspective. Probably should have a little bit more muscle here. Collarbones aren't bad here. So you got a bit of muscle on this one, but not that much on here. Alright. So another big problem that took me a long time to get better at, and I'm still not entirely better at, is technically both of these eyes are front-on eyes. Because if I was to draw this face from the front, I will trace this eye. Let me illustrate my point here. Damn it, it really wants me to use this airbrush. I'm pressing the not airbrush key. Yes, if I'm to draw over your eye here, and then this eye here, if I then move them to this front-on head. Okay, maybe not so much this guy here on the left, but if I just extended it a little, you know, look. Front-on eye. Completely front-on. But yet you have it on a 3/4. So, what we have to do is do something like this. And I know even Disney, they almost draw their 3/4 eyes just like triangles. And again, there's potentially those 500 million people I didn't talk about that I'm better at can do better eyes than me. But see, basically you kind of want to shape like these two here, sort of triangular, because your front on eye looks like this. You got that. And your side eye looks like that. So what you're trying to do is find somewhere in between these two. So you get a something like this. Yeah, that's better. Don't know how well you can see that. But yes, you want this kind of thing here, where it is literally in between your side view, which is like a greater than sign, and this, which is like a, I don't know, trapezoid of some sort. So yes, and then you just kind of make it, oop, I need my green. Same deal here. Little more trapezoid. And now you don't have your front on eyes on your 3/4 view. Now I saw quickly in your comments that you don't like the hair. Well, here, let me just get rid of all this stuff I've done here. So what you always have to do with the hair is make sure you draw the rest of the head. What the heck's going on with my tools? Sorry. So yes, you need to make sure you draw the rest of the head. I'm just doing it really rough here for you. Because that gives you the skull and the hair, or rather the cranium, and the hair is attached to that. So one of your problems here, unless she's actually got some like weird flattened deformed head, you'd want your hair to actually start a little higher. This. And then you just basically do some cool lines, whatever feels naturally. You kind of got a lot of that going here. The biggest problem, I think, is that you had her with a horrible, horrible depressed skull fracture. And there, see, now you'd see a bit of the forehead. You can add, little subtle hairs if you want to cover the eyes and all that. And then cut off, but, we've established your perspective earlier here. And the ears wouldn't quite be that lopsided, so you probably want to raise this far one a little more. Now this hair too, not as bad, but again, drawing out your whole skull, it would be sticking out a little more here. And then your front on eye, so you want to not have that. Yes. And now she's got bigger fuller hair and no depressed skull fracture. His nose would be a little more on the side here. There's the side of her head there. Thin this whole box shape out. And then in my previous thing, you got your breasts low and pretty much correct except for the gigantism in one of them. Yet they're super high and like to the side on this one. You know? Lower them here. I like this curve with the butt here. Some ribs. But yeah, that's actually pretty bad here. Artistic integrity. Draw me better boobs. Now see, you can make boobs look pretty, but I learned in life drawing there's nothing you can do to make a penis look pretty. So, make your breasts look nice. It's all you can do for the private parts. Everything else just looks gross. So yes, there we go. And that's your fixes on Juniper there, Konaido Daigido. Cheeto. So yes, that was episode 1 of Brad versus Art. I hope to refine the process, make it a little faster, hopefully get submissions of god-awful art, or really good art. I just want to make it entertaining. And, well, since I'm still sort of learning, I've been animating in Flash for the past year and a half, so my drawing skills have suffered for a bit. So I'm slow, and I'm learning, along with you guys. And I don't want this to be a 100% educational show. I want it to be entertaining. So if you stick with me, I'll improve. This show will improve, and hopefully we'll all improve. I'm just rambling. Jesus. Brad versus Art. Wait for episode 2. I promise I'll make it better. Shut up. And if you want to hear more of me, head on over to Three-Headed Gaming, my roommate's video game review and let's play channel. And hopefully I'm planning on making these both kind of like buddy channels. Go together and have fun. And whatever. I don't sound professional at all. Fuck you!